Hi, I'm Auriel Grace, and I'm going to talk to you about Ra tonight. Theo and I did our ancient history show on Sunday night, and there were some questions about the different gods and goddesses that we went over, and I'm going to put the link for that in the show somewhere. So it'll be up there. Watch for it. But I had some extra questions about the different gods that we talked about. And so this week I'm going to make some hopefully short videos about each god. So tonight we're going to talk about Ra or Re, right? Because he's Ra or Re. Either one, it works for him. All right. So Ra is he is the king of all pharaohs, and he is a creator god. So he was created by his father, who Theo and I are calling them the Anunnaki. Now, whether or not they are the Anunnaki, we don't know, because it's like ancient history, like 26,000 years ago, right? So the thought that we're going on is that a lot of the gods and goddesses came here to the planet for Earth's resources, and so they're extraterrestrials. So I'm calling them the Anunnaki because I like that name. And whether they're the Anunnaki or not, we don't know, but we're calling them star people. Okay? So Ra came to Earth, and he was awarded the Middle East. So he got to clean up the area. He got to have Egypt and the Middle Eastern areas, and that was his role, actually. And so after a nuclear war, we're hypothesizing, he started cleaning up the area, and so he became a creation god for the area. That's what we're thinking, and the reason why some of the stories are kind of vague. Yeah. So when after the nuclear war, everything was kind of a mess. He had to clean up the air and the water, and so from Ra, he created Shu and Tefnut. Shu is air, is the god of air, and Tefnut is the goddess of moisture. And so they all started working together to clean up the climate so that there could be more to create, right? All right, so Ra was the patron of the sun. He created himself as the sun god, all right? And so he held kingship over the Egyptian heaven, which is a field of reeds, or Aro, that's what they called it. He was a powerful god of the light. And he didn't govern the actions of the sun. He was the sun. He helped the sun move over the sky. That's what I get. Okay, so he governed the day. All right, so the other gods that he created were Bastet, Sekhmet, and Hathor. He created them from himself. Okay, we're not going to talk about Osiris and Isis, Set, and Nephthys and Horus Senior in this video. That's another video, and because this one would be really long. We're just going to talk about Ra. Besides, he created them through his children. So, yeah. Okay. So, Ra, his worshippers worshipped him in Heliopolis, which is called Sun City. And it is now it's now like in the suburbs of Cairo. It's around in that area. That's where they found it. And so one of the things one of his titles was he was the king of pharaohs. And that's why all of the pharaohs claim godship because they are, of course, from the god Ra, right? And who knows, they could be. I have a feeling they are. So, one of the cool things about Ra is that his Ba, or his soul, that's what Egyptians call the soul, the Ba, is represented by a phoenix. Why? Well, because every night Ra goes down into the underworld and he spends 12 hours down there battling the darkness and then battling chaos. And he wins, and then he comes and he rises and floats his boat through the air, through the day, bringing the light with him. Okay, so he goes in and he battles Apophis, and he rises as the sun, bringing the light with him. All right, so his three different incarnations are Atum, which is his human form, Khafre, which is his beetle form, and the Horus, which is his falcon form. Okay, and so those are the three, and those are the three that you will see in hieroglyphics that reflect him. All right, so when you're talking about him, you may see him in those three forms. All right, as Pharaoh and his beetle form, and then in his falcon form. All right, so Ra was the king of the deities and the father of all creation. He was a patron of the sun, heaven, kingship, power, and light. All right, he was not only the deity who governed the actions of the sun, he could also be the physical sun itself, as well as the day, because they thought of those things as separate. So the other gods that were created directly from Ra were Bastet, Sekhmet, and Hathor. And I'll be doing a video on them like next week, I think. So we can check out why he created those three beautiful ladies. So Ra, Ra was king of pharaohs, and he liked everybody to do his thing, right? He liked to keep the balance. He liked all his people to do what he wanted them to do. Yeah, he was a pharaoh, or at least, he reigned. And so he did create humans in this creation story. And so sometimes he would get mad at them, and he would rage. Well, in one of his rages, he set Sekhmet after the humans, but he could not control her. And so what he ordered the humans to do, feeling guilty, he told the humans, create a big vat of beer and dye it red. So she will see it, she will think it's blood, and she will go drink it. And that's what happened. Sekhmet went, she saw the beer, she thought it was blood, and she drank it, and drank a lot, and passed out. And that's how they were able to stop her from killing more humans. And Ra felt pretty guilty about that. So he decided that since he did this destruction, that he would retire. And there's more to this story than that. But when we talk about Isis, we'll tell the rest of it. So he retired, and he created the field of reeds, or Aru, which is the Egyptian heaven. Okay, leaving his grandchildren, Osiris, Isis, Nephthys, Set, and Horus the senior, to rule the earth. Okay, because he didn't want to go into a rage again. So he retired. He continued to ride his boat through the underworld and above, with the sun, or as the sun, during the day, bringing back the light of day. So he continued to do that after his retirement, but he no longer ruled Egypt. All right, so he has different name combinations, and this is something that I was like, who is he? So for those of you who want to know, Amun Ra, Amun Ra. He appeared in the pyramid text as early as the 5th dynasty. He is the solar creator god. All right. Atum, or Atum Ra, A-T-U-M, Ra, is the father of all deities and pharaohs that were widely worshipped. Okay. Ra Horakti, or Ra, who is Horus of the horizons. That's the title. Okay, so some of these are titles, some of them are names, and that is a title. So Ra Horakti is Horus of the horizons. Khepri, or Kum, Khepri the beetle, is a morning manifestation of Ra. Khnum is the ram, or the evening manifestation of Ra. So when he gets up in the morning and he's in his boat and the sun's rising, he's Khepri. And then when he's going to go into the underworld, he turns into Khnum, and he turns into a ram. And that helps him be powerful so that he can move through the darkness and fight Apophis and rise again the next day. Okay, so Ra'et Tawi, I think that's how you say it, is the female aspect of Ra. Because you'll notice that a lot of these, the gods and goddesses, have a male or female aspect to them, or they have, like Bastet, a beautiful cat during, when she's calm and she's lovely, or she turns into a lion when she becomes the battle goddess, right? So they have different aspects of themselves. And as we move through this, and we're talking about Ptah and Thoth, they also have different aspects. And so that's why sometimes these different gods and goddesses it's confusing. And when we get to the Romans, it's going to be even more confusing because they would take from all the civilizations that they knew, combine them into their gods and goddesses. Yeah. So it was like, so that's more information about Ra. And if you have any other questions, put them in the comments. I'll answer them as best as I can, because right now I still am doing a lot of research on Egypt, and we're going to be talking about Thoth and the Emerald Tablets next Sunday night. So, but Theo and I decided to do these ancient history series because there are so many questions about, like, who or how was the universe created, who is God, are there more than one God, is it okay to worship more than one God, so we decided to look into it. And there were some people that were really interested in finding out more about if our planet was seeded, if extraterrestrials came to this planet and seeded it and came here and helped to build some of the famous places on this planet, like the pyramids. Or if they even just came here and said, hey, you know what? I like it here. Let me create my own, like, heaven on earth here and create my own creations and figure it out from there. And so that's why we'll be talking about Atlantis, and we'll be talking about Lemuria, and we'll be talking about other different regions of the world where we see on their walls or in their histories drawings of like spaceships, drawings of maybe like different types of beings. So we're going to check it out and see what we can find. Let us know what you think as we travel along this journey. We don't know how long it's going to take, but we know that it's going to be pretty interesting and fun for us. Okay? All right. So that's what I have to say about Ra. If you like the video, please like it. If you like all of our videos, please subscribe to the channel and click the little bell to be notified when we go live on Sunday nights. Okay? All right. So have a great week, and we'll see you next week. Keep your hearts open and align with the energy of love. Good night.